Good afternoon. I'm Staffan Tjernstrom from Susquehanna International Group, LLLP, and I wanted to talk, like everybody else has this week, about C++20, specifically what made it in and some of the things that maybe didn't. There's some regular disclosures for the cameras. So C++20 is big. It's really big, mind-bogglingly big. You wouldn't believe how huge it is. And probably even bigger than C++11 was back in its day. If we look back before the last couple of sets of committee meetings going into that, there were a huge number of headliner items, in fact, more than I could fit on one slide. Given that there's obviously a great amount of interest in the community, so along with all the headliner items came a whole lot of new blog post syntax. Not only that, there's plenty more to come. For example, lots of small items, all of which are incredibly important to a number of constituents within the community. Just such useful things as being able to actually essentially type def in an enum that oddly has been missing for 9 years. Yeah, take your pick. No more volatile. Now, so many items. Maybe as a result of the faster cycle, maybe it's the result of just the interest in the language, but both attendance and the number of papers submitted to the committee has been rising exponentially pretty much since 14, if not before. The data isn't quite enough to tell whether it's two linear lines intersecting or if it's an exponential growth. We'll know more in C++23. But the important thing to note is that the number of papers has grown more than the number of attendees. Now, as anybody who's ever flown through the Midwest of the US during thunderstorm season knows, there is only one possible outcome of that scenario. Things get delayed. And this is indeed what we find. So we have coroutines is there, but a lot of the surrounding infrastructure for it is still being worked on. Contracts didn't have enough time to get finalized, so we'll get that at some later point in time in some way, shape, or form. And likewise amongst the smaller items, much to my own chagrin, the implicit creation of objects for low-level object manipulation didn't have enough time to make it through, so we'll go another 3 years without stud bless, even though that's really not a sufficient solution for the problem at hand. But yeah, a few other places. So we got source location, so we know where we are in the program. We didn't get stack trace, so we just don't know where we came from. And yeah, in a number of ways, but it's a moving target. Keep an eye on CPP reference and the compiler support page. That seems to be doing a remarkably good job at keeping up to date with all the various compilers and what they're doing. And finally, yes, I'm sponsored to be here by my company, and I have to say that we're hiring. Thank you very much.